Welcome to the Michael Singer podcast, presented by Sounds True, in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information about Michael Singer's work, access to all prior episodes, and information about upcoming releases, we invite you to join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com.
Gyrative. If you want to go somewheres, you have to have an understanding where you are and the direction you want to go in. Otherwise, you're just totally lost. And that's where human beings go awry. They don't even understand the beginning point. So they just flounder for their entire lives, just thrash around in the water, trying to not drown, trying to be okay, trying to have a moment's happiness, trying to find something that brings them peace or joy or safety or something. In other words, they start from the position that I'm not okay. You have to understand that. That's the big folly of humanity. They start from the position I'm not okay, and what life is about is making me be okay. That's why I married you. You made me be okay. That's why I went on my vacation. To make me be okay. So I took this job, made me be okay. Or at least the money from it will make me be okay. And you have this constant game of, I'm not okay, but I want to be okay. That's it. That is the definition of humanity. That's the human folly. Everyone tries to do it a different way. That's why there's so much competition. That's why there's so many arguments. That's why there's so much politics. That's why there's so much divorces. That's why there's so much conflict. Because they're not okay and they want to be okay, but they don't know how to do it. So they try this, they try that. So what happens if I try to be okay with you and I'm not okay? Well, then I have to have divorce and conflict and arguments and things. What happens if I try to be okay with my job? Because I like what they're paying me, but I don't like the task they gave me to do. There's constant conflict. Do you understand that? There is constant conflict. This is why. It's not because of what somebody said. It's not because of what somebody did. It's not because of some momentary or even long-term passing situation. It's about the fact that you started from the place that I am not okay. And that is going to be the drive behind everything I do for my entire life. That's the foundation. I'm not okay. I need to try to be okay. Even people meditate. They go to yoga. They get to religion. Everything. If I do this, I'll be okay. How many times have you thought, if I do this, I'll be okay? If only this happens, I'll be okay. If this doesn't happen, I'll be okay. That is what is going on inside of you all the time, right? What happens is you put the focus on that, on what do I need to do to be okay? That's first. And second, how do I do it? What do I need to do? I call that your strategy. And how do I do it? That's your tactic. You're going to find out you've done that every moment of your life. That's all there is to it. That's what you're doing. No one will ever get anywhere doing that. They will temporarily do better. They temporarily do worse. And that's what happens. I've been through that. I don't need to discuss that again. It's like this promise that you've made yourself. This is what I think will make me happy. Then anything that goes in that direction makes you a little happy. You have hope. It looks like it's going to do it. It's only because you said, this is what will make me happy. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's because you said, okay, I see what's going on, this, that. I think this will make me happy. Then if it starts to happen, of course you start to feel happy. Somebody else said that would make them sad. Same exact thing. Maybe another time in your life you said that would make you sad, miserable. Then if it starts to happen, you get miserable. That's all that's happening here. It's a big mental game. It's ridiculous. But people don't see it. No one sees it. Very few people ever have seen it. And so you're taught to go out there and decide what you want and go get it. And then your life either is better or worse, depending on whether you're getting it or not getting it. And then you change what you want. It doesn't stay the same anyways. As you grow, that's a beauty God made it. Like you start with this little baby. Well, as a little baby, you don't want $1 million. Little baby, you don't want to go on a vacation. Little baby, there's something else you want. And then naturally you grow up and then you don't want that anymore. First it's mommy, then it's mother, please, I'd rather do it myself. It's going to change. God made it so interesting. The problem is that what doesn't change is I'm not okay. What do I need in order to be okay? And how do I get it? No matter what age you're at. If you're the terrible twos and you want the toy, what do I want? The toy. How do I get it? Throw a tantrum. You're doing it all the time. I want her to like me. How do you get her to like you? Well, she's into social things and therapy and so on. I'll tell her how sad my life has been, so she feels sorry for me, as though terrible things have happened to me, so that she can like me, because that's right. Or, well, she likes a strong person, so I'll tell her all the good things. I don't know. Can't even find myself liking to talk about it anymore because it's so prevalent. I'm telling you, unless you see this, you're not going to grow, because you can't grow this way. But that's what they teach you. They teach you how to figure out what you want. Make sure you know how to do it. Go to a therapist and go to a coach and do something. Make sure you're going for the right thing. What's going to make you okay? Then how to get it. How to change your looks, have body sculpting, change your eye color, change your teeth. You just go through this thing. Change your structure, go to finishing school, become intelligent so you can talk at parties and sound. Seriously, that is what it is like here for humans. Learn another language so you can learn more other people. Maybe other cultures will make you happy. Your whole life you struggle. And you measure it based on, did you get enough to make you a little bit happy during your struggles, or is it just a struggle? The problem, if you ask the person the problem, they'll say, I married the wrong person. I should have had a child when I was younger. In other words, I didn't say what the thing that would make me happy. I didn't get it right, or I didn't get it. But the foundation's always the same. What's the foundation? I'm not okay. That's the starting place. I am not okay. How do I figure out how to be okay? And how do I make it happen? I don't want to belabor it, but do you see that's all that's happening? That's all that's happening everywhere. That's it. Rich people, poor people, every race, everything. That's what's going on. No one will ever get anywhere that way. Relatively, you can. Relatively, perhaps a rich person can be a little bit better off than a poor person. Not necessarily. Or a healthy person better off than a sick person. It changes. You thought it was money. You thought it was a relationship. Then you got sick. If only I could get well. I don't care about money anymore. It doesn't do anything for me. The relationship doesn't do it for me. I have pain. I'm sick. Isn't that beautiful? That's how quick it can change. And this is called a wasted life. They don't see it that way. It is a completely wasted life. Well, what do you do about that? You live a different life, a totally different life. This is the only thing that the word paradigm shift should be used for. It's not a paradigm shift because you decided to get divorced and marry somebody else. It's not a paradigm shift because you decided, I've been into money. It's really ruining me. I don't care about money. It's not a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift is to come back to the root. What's the root? I'm not okay. That's the root. You've got to let go of every place you went from that point. All of your mind was created off of that point. All your emotions were created off of that point. All your desires, all your fears, your entire everything is created off the point, I'm not okay. What do I do about it? It just goes out from there. You have to come back to the root and sit there and ask a different question. What? What do you mean? What's a different question? Right now at the root, when you're not okay, you're asking, what do I do about it? The paradigm shift, which is the difference between a worldly life and a spiritual life, is you ask, why am I not okay? Not what do I do about it? Because what do I do about it is accepting that you're not going to be okay. You're not okay. That's your starting place. Why am I not okay? Means there's something wrong that's making me not be okay. Not that's my natural state to not be okay. Now I need to put things on top of it. The first book I ever read of Yogananda's, The Science of Religion, 50-odd years ago, in my Volkswagen van, living out on the field here, the part that stayed with me, and now I just talked about it all these years later, and I didn't understand it totally at the time, his master said, all you're doing is putting a Band-Aid on top of the problem. You're not solving the problem. You're just putting a Band-Aid on top of it. Your relationships are a Band-Aid. Your money is a Band-Aid. Your vacations are a Band-Aid. All these things are just things that will cover up that you're not okay. He didn't say it like this, but that's what he talked about, the Band-Aid on top. That's all anybody's ever doing is putting Band-Aids on top of the problem, never solving them. If you come back to what I just talked about, you start with the fact that I'm not okay. Go find a Band-Aid. Go find what Band-Aid you want. It's not going to work. You understand that? Band-Aids don't work. They just temporarily protect something or cover something. You have to come back and sit there and say, why am I not okay? And now the first thing that's going to happen if you do that is your mind, this is all conditioned by this not okayness, is going to step in and say, you're right, I'm not okay because I'm not married. No, that's the Band-Aid. The Band-Aid is getting married. The Band-Aid is getting a different job. So you can't sit there and say that the reason I'm not okay is because I don't have the Band-Aid that I could put over my not okayness. The example I used to use is you're eating food that's making you sick. So you got stomach ache. So you go for the Pepto-Bismol. So you can't find the Pepto-Bismol. And so you're looking around, stomach ache, find the Pepto-Bismol. So a friend comes in, says, what's the matter? How can I help? And you say, I can't find the Pepto-Bismol. That is not what's the matter. That's your attempt to solve what's the matter. Listen to this. This is where human life goes completely astray. That's your attempt to solve what's the matter. It's not what's the matter, okay? If you didn't have what's the matter, you wouldn't need the Pepto-Bismol. Why are you lonely? Because I can't find a meaningful relationship. Same. Why are you sad? I don't feel purpose in my life. No. These are already, you're accepting that you're messed up, and you've decided what will make you feel better, and you can't make that happen. Then you're saying that's what's wrong. That's a very important trap that the mind will always do to you. Don't ever do that. This is what the Buddhists mean by working at the root. The root of the problem is, I'm not okay. Why am I not okay? Don't think about what you think would make you feel better, what you think would make you be okay. Those are your attempt to solve that you're not okay. They're not the cause of you not being okay. That's why desire is meaningless. That's why avoiding your fears is meaningless. The problem is not what do I need to avoid my fear. The problem is why are you afraid? The problem is not how do I get this thing that I need that will make me happy. The problem is why are you not happy? That's the difference. That's the whole fall from the garden. That's the whole outward movement. In the Gita, somewhere they say some scars, the whole ego thing is like a downward tree. Its roots are above and it grew out. That's what it's telling you. The core is inside, but then it goes out to try to solve the problem, but that's not the problem. So once and for all, you understand nothing you ever do to solve your problem will solve your problem. You have to ask why. Why am I not okay? And the problem is people can't do that. Why? Because it's too painful. It's too painful to face the not okayness. They want to run away from the not okayness instantaneously. Running away from it means you're trying to find solutions to it, as opposed to facing it and trying to see its root. If there's a fire and there's smoke coming from the fire, but you can't see the fire because there's too much smoke, you want to get to the fire, you better handle the smoke. The moment you start to walk toward that fire, there's going to be more smoke. If you turn away, you'll never know what's causing the smoke. You'll spend your whole life trying to avoid the smoke. You'll never know what causes the smoke. That's exactly what this is. There is a core there where you're not okay. It's very uncomfortable and you're not okay. If you want to find out what that's about, you got to sit there. You got to be willing to go to that fire. You'll be willing to sit with the cause. Otherwise, you will be busy avoiding the whole situation. That's why spirituality requires the strength of sitting in the discomfort. Because where's the discomfort coming from? Not how do I avoid it? I'm telling you, every single thing that human beings are doing is avoidance. I'm not okay. What makes me be better? I want to avoid not being okay. Do you want to avoid not being okay? Then that's what you're doing. You're avoiding not being okay. You're not finding out why you're not okay. Now let's come back to the core. Let's say you wake up and you realize Band-Aids don't work. Avoidance does not work. Spirituality, yoga, says, find out why you're not okay and deal with it. And so to do that, you have to be willing to stop playing the games. So basically, we come down to it. We don't put a Band-Aid on it. You don't even want to know what it is that you're putting the Band-Aid on. You want to put the Band-Aid on it so fast you don't have to look at it. If you want to find out what's going on, you got to, God, it's so deep. That is not renunciation. You see how it could feel like that? It's not renunciation. It's the opposite. It's reality. It's facing. It's power that you are going to go and you're going to see what's the problem. I'm not renouncing Band-Aids. How's that? I'm not renouncing Band-Aids. I'm looking at the cut. I'm looking at the reason I need a Band-Aid so I can deal with that. Don't call that renouncing Band-Aids. So I'm not renouncing the world. I'm not renouncing anything. I'm just not using it to avoid. And so I come back and I ask the question, why am I not okay? Why am I not okay? What you're going to see is that you're blocked. That's the right word. You're blocked. That's why you're not okay. That is the only reason you're not okay. What does that mean? It means that you really are okay. You really are beyond okay. You really are the highest thing that ever walked the face of the earth. As I sit by the throne of my Father, so you sit by my throne. And even as I do these things, you do greater things. Even Christ said it. You are so happy, so filled with joy, that you put Ramakrishna to shame. And he couldn't even stand up. He was so drunk, naturally. His arms would go up in the air and tears would pour down his face. And he'd just beam in light. And his hairs would stand on end. Whoa, that's the truth. That's the truth. How would you like to be around someone that was happening? All right? It happened to him all the time. All the time. He was so okay that it was incomprehensible. It was just overwhelming joy. That's how much joy and love and okayness is inside of you. The problem is you don't feel it. If it's there, why don't I feel it? Because you're blocked. That is the essence of all of understanding. That is what the whole spiritual path is. There's no other path. You are blocked. But then the only logical question becomes, why am I blocked and what do I do about it? That's the only question that is ever asked for the rest of your life. Now, how do I find God? Remember, your starting position, you are God, but you're blocked. Now, we talked about in the beginning, you have to know where you start from, you know where you're going. Okay, now I know where I start from. I'm God, I'm everything, aham brahmasmi, all right? But I'm blocked. So what's your path? Get unblocked. There, that's it. If you're thinking anything else, spending any time with anything else, you are wasting your time and you're not growing spiritually. You don't find God. You let go of the blockages that are keeping you from the realization that you are God. That's very different than finding it, isn't it? So the answer is very straightforward. Get rid of the blockages. That's why you're not happy. That's why you have misery. That's why you're suffering. That's why everything is. Because you have blocked the energy of the ecstasy of Satchidananda. So a yogi, yogini, never thinks about anything else. I am about removing the blockages. That's who I am. Not I'm this person's husband, this person's wife, this person's father, or this type of a career person, or this or that. I'm not old, I'm not young. I am the person that is releasing the blockages. That's who I am. That is the only self-concept I have. That is the only thing I do every single second of my life. Every breath I take, that's all it is there. That's a spiritual person. That's a yogi. No other games. That's it. All right, how do you do that? It's kind of exciting to know you can do that, and then it all is there. How do you do that? How do you remove blockages? Well, there are a lot of different techniques that people teach you. The trouble is with techniques is there are times you're doing them, and times you're not doing them. And I'm telling you, the power of band-aiding, of avoiding, is so powerful that if for one moment you're not letting go of blockages and you're just letting it do its thing, it will go right back to those patterns. That's why people have so much trouble breaking habits and all that stuff. They built them for a reason. It has to be more than just a technique, just something you do periodically, meditate or do mantra or put some time aside. There's nothing wrong with those things. But in and of themselves, they're nothing. Those are about, can you maintain consciousness enough to where you're dealing with your blockages? If you're going into meditation in order to avoid your blockages, and believe me, a lot of people meditate for that reason. Oh my God, I can't believe what he said to me. I got to meditate. All right? You're basically saying, I can't handle my blockages. So there's this state I can go into in meditation where I don't have to feel them. Don't kid yourself. Okay. I know I did it for years. So, and I could get into that state early, right? But you come back, it's still there. So it's fine. Of course, you're going to use these things. I'm not against these techniques. They're very helpful and tools to help you be conscious enough to remember what it's all about is letting go of your blockages. They're very good. Well, what if I do a Vipassana retreat, a meditation retreat for 2 weeks? And it's very good. It's very good. But what matters is not what happened to you during that retreat, it's what happens when you come back. That can give you the strength and the detachment so that you're able to work with things better when you come back. Of course it can. It's wonderful. I'm not against anything. The question isn't, I had this technique, it was so beautiful, and I came back to my life, and I can't. You understand, what you came back to is your work. That's not your work. That's your practice. That's what we call it, your practice. Your work is getting rid of your blockages. How do you do that? Let's have a serious discussion now that we understand what's going on. First, you commit yourself to that you're about. Then what do? First question a person asks, how do I know where my blockages are? How do I know which one to work with first? I have so many, right? You want to know which blockage you should work with? The one that's bothering you right now. That's why be here now is important. That's your be here now. Here I am now. I'm walking down the street and I feel self-conscious. I feel like people are looking at me. I'm not sure my hair's okay. I have a pimple. I had a pimple this morning. I don't know if enough makeup covered it. I don't know. I gained some weight. I don't know, or lost a lot of, okay. There you are, suffering. There you are, not being okay. It's that simple, isn't it? Happens, doesn't it? There you are, not being okay. And your natural thing will be to check how you're walking, to walk down a side street so that people aren't there, or wear something different. In other words, avoid it. Ooh, God, that's a tough one to talk about, isn't it? Avoid being self-conscious. Not fix it. Not do anything about it. Avoid it. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. Well, I told you, that's what your whole life is. I'm sorry to keep going back. You're going to see your whole life is avoidance. It's avoidance of the fact that you're not okay. Would you call that being okay, feeling that self-consciousness and that embarrassment and feeling like people are looking at you and judging you? Is it that part of okayness? No, that's not okay, is it? Getting real personal here. That's not being okay. Well, that's what I'm talking about. So how am I supposed to let go of my blockages? Well, there's one. What do you mean? How's that going to solve this? You don't try to avoid it. You try to look at it and let it go. You let go of that blockage. But then I won't be doing anything to avoid it. That's right. I will have to face it. I have to deal with it, the blockage itself. And then things will happen. Things will happen. Just being willing to stand there and not play the avoidance game is getting closer to dealing with the root of that thing. And what will happen is someday you'll just be sitting there. People say to me all the time. You all tell me all the time. You'll be there minding your own business, and all of a sudden you'll see something you didn't see before. When you were 5, when you were 10, when you had a big fight with your mother or father, something, right? And then it helped build this. I always say high school. That should do it. High school is a tough time for people. They're really developing the self-concept and doing all that kind of stuff. And most people have a very hard time at high school, including the president of the high school, of the club, and the football player. That person's got to hold that image together. You understand that? And then it breaks apart because they stop playing football. And their whole life is different because they built everything on that. And then you start feeling funny about the stuff that made you. It's just, come on, guys, you live in there. I don't need to tell you. That's what you deal with. Those are your blockages, not how do I go to a reunion that makes me feel better because then the people thought of me that way and I feel real good when I'm there. That's what everybody does, isn't it? They try to avoid it. A spiritual person, a yogi or yogini, does not do that anymore. They just sit there and see, if I am not feeling comfortable, it's because I am blocked, because I happen to be the source of all joy of the whole universe. That's who I am. And if I'm not feeling that right now, but instead I'm feeling self-consciousness, it's because that energy is blocked. Why is it blocked? Well, you're not going to see it if you don't go there, if you don't sit there. If you're going to avoid it, you'll never see it. So you see it and it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Of course it's uncomfortable. That's what a blockage is. A blockage is uncomfortable. And so you feel that, and I don't know, I've done it my whole life. The highest thing you can do that I have found is relax. What? How can I relax? It's uncomfortable. Well, that's the magic, isn't it? You're not uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. And that's where your awakening takes place. That's witness consciousness. That's objective observation. That's that step back. You are noticing that it's uncomfortable. You who notices, I guarantee you, are not uncomfortable. You who notices is very close to God, very close to the ecstasy. But because you pay so much attention to the discomfort, you can't get away from it. Then you have to deal with the discomfort, because that's where you're putting your consciousness. So here's the entire path that you've been taught. It is a path of witness consciousness. It is the path of stepping back and being the consciousness that is aware of the discomfort. You have to learn to do that. Otherwise, the discomfort is going to make you do something about it. It's going to make your decisions. It's going to get divorced. It's going to change its job. It's going to do these things. It's going to yell at somebody. It's going to fight with somebody. Every single thing it does is an attempt to avoid itself. It doesn't want to feel itself. I don't have to put up with this. I bet you don't. Trouble is, if you want it to go away, you have to put up with it. You can't say, that's wrong, I have to put up with this. You literally have to be willing to die to be reborn. So basically you catch on that this is your life, not your path. It's your entire life. So don't ask the question, how do I know what blockage to work with? How do I know which one I need to deal with? It is in your face all the time. You're uncomfortable. Just understand that. Underneath, there's a fear, there's a discomfort, there's an anxiety, there's a self-consciousness, there's an embarrassment, there's a sense. If you're working on something, there's a sense that you're supposed to be doing something else. There's a sense that you're missing something. Even though something else, but I'm working on it, but I'd rather be sailing. I'm supposed to go on, even if it's something you think you can enjoy or something you think you're supposed to do. Very rarely will you find yourself in a situation where you are 100% working on what you're working on. Why? Because you're not okay. And there's a reason you're doing what you're doing, to try to be okay. But if you're doing this to try to be okay, what about all the other things you're not doing that you need to do that might not make you be okay? Come on, got that anxiety? Good. I'm talking at the root here. This is where it all comes from. So what do? You need to let it go. Let what go? That sense that I need to fix this stuff. The sense that there's something to fix. The sense that I better do something or it's going to get worse. You have to come back and stay at the core and say, I'm not about succeeding at this. Doesn't mean I'm not working on it, but that's not what it's about. I'm not doing this to make myself be okay. How's that? Oh my God, that is so unhuman. I am not doing this to make myself be okay. I'm not doing this to avoid being worse. In fact, I'm not even doing this. I'm in here letting go of that stuff that's underneath. Okay? Now, while I'm letting go of that stuff, life is giving me things to do. There will be something in front of you. Say, hello, here I am. Knock, knock. Hi. If you don't have stuff going, you will see that there is something at this millisecond that's in front of you that needs you to deal with it. Not for any reason, but that's not the most, it doesn't matter. You just do it. You do it. You do it because it's given to you. You do it because you're no longer doing and not doing based on avoidance. People worry about, I don't know what to do. No, it's because you have a reason for wanting to know what to do. And you can't figure out which one's more important, which one will get me what I want. When you have no reason anymore, there's no reason to do or not do. I'm already doing my thing. I'm letting go. Any blockage that comes, I'm letting go. I'm letting go of Mickey. I believe that's a full-time job. I have a full-time job. That's what I'm doing. I'm just letting go. That's my only job. That's my job. But while I'm doing that job, Somebody asks me to write something, somebody calls on the phone, she sends me emails, 1,000 emails a day. I'll deal with them. But that's not my job. My job is letting go of Mickey. It's letting go of him. And all of a sudden you realize that's what works. What works is letting go of yourself, not using life to avoid yourself. You use life to help let go of yourself. It's a surgeon. You know how I used to see it? Michelangelo was a pretty good sculptor, wasn't he? I am the block of marble before he touched it. Master is Michelangelo. He's chipping away. I ain't doing nothing. He's chipping away. He knows what to hit. He knows what to chip. I just got to be willing to get hit. You understand that? I got to be willing to feel that chisel. And eventually you start to see an arm and then something come out and you go, oh, that's me? Okay, you can do this. That's what happens. Okay, it doesn't really hurt. It's fine. You can do this. I like it. I like it. Every single hit. Life is that sculptor. It's the great sculptor. It is hitting you all the time. It's hitting just the right spots at just the right time in just the right way because he's the master sculptor. Are you willing to let that be who you are? The one who's honoring, surrendering, accepting, appreciating all the beautiful words, not resisting, period. And that's what you're doing. Now, during that time, things are going to be happening. The sculptor is hitting you. And that's what you're doing. I don't know what to tell you. That's what you're doing, is honoring, respecting, accepting, appreciating the process that is happening to you. You are not going to God. God is taking you to him. You wouldn't even know what to do next. If you stop everything I've taught you, look how little you are. It's like these tiny little thoughts about the little things that happen to you. If you want to know how little you are, think about what you didn't pay attention to, what didn't happen to you. And that's just on the planet Earth. And then I told you, the planet Earth is just one star to 300 billion of trillions of galaxies. Are you kidding me? That's God. How are you going to go to God? What God is going to do is melt you so that you merge back into your reality. So you're never doing anything. That's what a spiritual being, they're not doing anything. They're not on a path. They're not meditating. They're not doing anything. Doesn't mean these acts aren't taking place, but you're not doing anything. There's no you in there anymore who thinks they're doing anything. You're just surrendered. You're just allowing this beautiful process of blockage removal. That's what life is. It's a blockage removal process. You're letting this beautiful process of blockage removal take place. And as the blockages are removing, you get happier. Why? I already told you. They're the cause of you not being okay. If they're removed, then you are okay. As the blockages go, you will feel joy. You will feel love, because that's who you are. So your whole life, every second of it, everything you do or don't do is for the purpose of letting go of the blockages. That's all you have to do. And they will go. And then you'll understand the work of the master. You'll start to see that there is a force. What force? Life. Baba used to say, Baba's all about gurus. You know that every word, everything you do. Baba said, I'm not the guru, life is your guru. You start to see what that means. Life knows where it needs to go. It just naturally raises your stuff up. The question is, what do you do about it? Do you fight? Do you argue? Do you avoid? Do you try to find comfort? Or do you every single time come and get it? Come and get it. Here it is. Ramakrishna said, helter skelter, come what may. Just take it. All right. So we took a long journey in this talk. We started off with a very basic right understanding. Human beings are not okay. And that's where they start. I'm not okay. How do I be okay? Just look around you. Look at everybody. That's not what you do. You sit there and see, I'm not okay because I'm blocked. And the only way to really be okay is to get unblocked. And how do you get unblocked? Well, you have the entire power of the universe, of all the masters, of everything that ever was great that existed, saying, I'm here to help you. In fact, I'm here to do it. You don't have to do anything. Just don't resist. Don't resist. Jagrif.
You've been listening to the Michael Singer Podcast, produced by Sounds True in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information on Michael's body of work and all back episodes, please join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Sounds True, waking up the world.